What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin. Where the war fight start? Round one. Yeah. Yes. So we have a lot to break down here today. I got some footage I want to share with you guys. So do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't already, I invite you to join Round One Sports family. And like always, let's hop right into this video. Salute, brother. I'll be right with you. What's up, guys? You hear me loud and clear? Thank you for tuning in. Kid Forever, Pinto. Listen, guys, we have a lot to break down, and I want to put up some box rec numbers, and we're gonna figure some of these things out that is being said about the Naoya Inoue situation in his fight. And I want to break down all of that. We're going to talk about this Ryan Garcia and what is he looking like right now in that, like in the new shape. That's really alarming right now, and I'm not going to shy away from it. We got to talk about this Ryan Garcia thing, okay? So, but I was on the Boxing Voice. I don't know if you guys happen to catch me on the Boxing Voice lately. I've been Ness was kind enough to invite me on his platform and to talk to a bigger viewing boxing audience, and I've been having an amazing time over there. I've been getting cooked, roasted, and a lot of likes and a lot of love from the channel, and it's an awesome experience. Always sitting down and talking with guys that Ness, Johnny, and Two Tone and stuff, and they're all great guys to talk with, and Ness does his thing on Border Wars, and if you don't know anything about that, you can check out Border Wars. Johnny got Ness, Johnny, and Two Tone. I think they all got it on their platform. And shouts out to 702. He be on the show too. He's mad chill. And we was just talking about like boxing and stuff. So Ness brought, they questioned me if whether or not I've ever boxed and stuff like that. So I shared a little bit of video with them, and I want to share that with you guys and shit and hear their reaction and stuff. Before we get into everything. So I'm gonna pull that up right here so we can see that. I think I have okay, wait. Okay. Let's I think it's this one. Okay. All right. This is I'm gonna hop on. They're talking right now. And
I'm telling you, I'm a cherry picker. What in the fuck?
Oh, no, I'm reading the chat.
I'm a cherry picker. Except all my fights have had polls. People ask me to fight them people. That's the difference. They never let me cherry pick. One time I remember there was this dude.
Not that I want to fight, right, or anything, but I sent you on your Instagram a little me doing some bad work. Me doing some bad work.
Don't do that. He's gonna make you fight. He gonna want you to fight. He's gonna find you an opponent.
Nah, you know what it is, Edwin. Show these motherfuckers how it go, man. They out here bullshitting. They want to talk about T.O. this and T.O. that. We about to show you how motherfucking Edwin hit the bag.
Everybody is a beginner, though.
We don't want to hear your excuses, bro. Get out that fight camp, man.
Not me.
Get out that fight camp, man.
Excuses, bro.
Get out that fight camp, man. It's my man Edwin right here, man. Oh, you could tell the way he walking up to the speed bag, he got the swag already. No, I thought this was a heavy bag, though.
I got another one on there for heavy bag.
Oh, shit. Nah, you a cheater, bro. Get out of here. Nah, bro, you cheating.
To me, I'm cheating.
You got the skills, bro. Look at you.
Nah, I told you I used to box, man.
That's that real deal shit. You still in good shape, man. Look at them forearms. Let's go, Edwin. Let's go, Edwin.
I'm 50 years old right there.
Oh. Right there, which means what? You older?
No, I'm
Oh,
50
shit.
still. That was just a couple months ago.
Okay, I see that right hand. Yeah, keep talking about Edwin. Fuck around, sleep one of y'all. Sleep. Where the heavy bag at, Edwin?
It's on the next reel. And I sent it to you.
Oh.
Right? You got it? It's either that right there. That's me in the heavy bag.
Look at the swag. Oh, look at the swag. They don't want none of Edwin. Heavy bag work. Let's see what he got.
Little light work.
Oh, southpaw. Okay.
I'm alrighty.
Okay, I see the rhythm. Oh. Natural power. Okay, Edwin. Right hook. I hear that shit. Ooh. How much you weigh?
Right now I'm 190.
Oh my God! You stop Johnny. Did you see that shit?
That's too, bro. You messy, bro.
Oh! No. Oh, see the difference between fight camp? This ain't no basement. This ain't no garage.
Nah, that's in the gym.
Come on, bro. We ain't trying to disrespect you. Look at that left hand. Ay, Dios mío. Stop fucking. Oh, that's it. No more. It's going to be impossible to get you a fight. Yo, you sure you don't want to shake it out again?
Man, you've been talking. Yo, your boy was putting in some work right there. Yo, it starts to like fire up the engine, you know what I'm saying? The juices be flowing, you be wanting, but bro, I don't miss those punches to the face. Nah, I'm a realist. Like, I've been in fights. Some people talk like, like I know what it's like to get wrapped up in your words and have that inner fight inside of you, right? But I got into a lot of fights, and I remember what it's like to fight, and I'm just like, man, I don't miss those days and the training that comes with it and everything. But staying in shape, just cardio boxing is one of the best cardio workouts. It also keeps your limbs active and you're a bit more you're aware of yourself more when you train, you hit the bag and stuff. I think I'm gonna get off my couch again. I haven't been in the gym in a little bit of time, dealing with everything transitioning in my life, my daughter, my family also, and the commitment I have to learning more in this world of journalism, so to speak. And but boxing is something that's always with me, and it's kind of like riding a bike for me anyway. I'll never forget when my coach would tell me, turn your hand and snap like this. And it doesn't take a lot of big violent movement to make you feel like you're punching hard. It does not. That's not what it consists of. It takes almost 7 pounds of pressure to knock you out. You just got to generate that right there. And sometimes in small distances, when you his weight and he's bending in, you can snap it short, quick, and get the same result. And you don't always have to train to fight. It's not like, but like I said, as a cardio, to stay in shape, to keep your limbs, your arms, and your legs moving. The one thing that I noticed as a child, me, why we were so athletic and we were so much full of energy, because in our schools from a very early age, they have jungle gyms outside. And we are always climbing trees, running. Every time we see our best friend, we run to them. You look at a child and his daily routine in life, and you start to notice, wow, no wonder I had so much energy. I'm over here, boom, boom, jumping around, right? and you stop doing that as an adult. Because it doesn't look cool as an adult. They're gonna think you're crazy. Yo, why is that when they're always climbing something as an adult? You know what I'm saying? With a Yahoo, you know, you know what I mean? Right? They'll think you're crazy. That's why we got gym for that. So you have to acknowledge that the reason why you're feeling stiff, is because you've only been doing the bare minimum. Although you might work or have a job, I don't know what you do for a profession, but it's not, you ain't moving like that. And boxing training is the best, in my opinion, for the entire body. You know, when jump rope, a little jogging too, you know. I don't know how your knees are, but um shit, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll do like lives and shit and work out. We can work out together or something. I don't know, man. Uh like get up in the morning and shit and just do like 45 minutes or something, take you guys with me. I don't know. A lot of you guys got jobs and shit. So you know, and our schedules don't work, and I know you would want to do it or something, but I don't know how like that, but or I'll just make some videos and put them out, and y'all can just watch them, whatever, you know. But I'm thinking about just going back. I talked to my wife yesterday. I told her that Ness wanted me to fight. I said I want to take. She said no, 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 no. You're not fighting. I'm like, I thought you didn't care. You always talking gangster. Like we was out in the grocery store or something, and some dude said something, right? And leading into that whole day or the whole week or the month, she's always talking about, and she's just a little bitty white girl, right? My girl's Iris, but she's just a psycho from Boston. We're one of them, you know. Yeah, she's one of them. And so she's always popping shit all the time, right? So, and I know her. So it's my job as a man to manage that. I don't add gasoline to her fire. I deal with it. I know how she is. I've been with her for 15 years, and I think it's because of her crazy nullifies my crazy in our relationship. I really believe that, because I would have been left this chick a long time ago, but she's so damn crazy that I think that if I let her out in the world, you know, she's just gonna walk off the side of the planet or something, because somebody's gonna, you know. So I know how she is, but and then when she sees that the situation gets a little out of hand, and I have to turn into Edwin, then she said, no, no, don't do it, Baba. And I'm like, I told, and sometimes it's a little too late, because I'm ready to, you know. And so I tell her, Ness, I says, Ness wants me to fight. I said, come on, baby. I said, why don't me and you go take out that membership back to the gym, right? And I'll train for 3 to 4 months. In August is border war. I pop up, yo, what's up? What's good? And I'll get a little book, whatever, and I'll try to get it. Just let me get one, right? Nah. I'm like, man, listen, right? I thought you don't need me. I thought I ain't nothing. I thought I don't never do nothing, right? But now all of a sudden you love me so much you can't be without me. Says, what if something happens to you? What? And then I have to go chase down him and his family. I laugh. I'm like, what? What you mean something happened to me? She's like, no. I was like, in 15 years since you've been with me, have you ever seen me get my ass whooped? I mean, I'm not bragging, but like I can defend myself at least. I'm not out there trying to fight fucking the biggest dude you know what I mean? But when I had to, you know what I mean? You guys know me. I ain't pretending to be no tough guy, no nothing, man. If I gotta hop into that dude, I will. That's all. That's it, just like you guys will, right? I'm pretty sure you'll do the same. So she's like, no, right? So I'm sitting back and I'm like, just like, you know, I think I'm just gonna train just to stay in shape, just to stay in shape. Yeah. We gonna turn the engine back on, bro. I could already feel it. I know I'm a little psycho. I know I am. I'm gonna turn it back on, man, because just like less than like 4 or 5 months ago, I was in the gym That's when I was doing that footage right there. I was in the gym for a while. So I was in the gym straight for almost like 2 years or some shit at that point right there. So I haven't lost a lot or nothing. I can get right back into it. I just got to stop the smoking and shit because the jogging and stuff. That's the most important thing about fighting. The most important thing I would highly, highly recommend and suggest is cardio. Because even if you can't fight that good, if you can outlast him, bro, there's gonna become a point in time he's gonna be huffing and puffing. And yeah, man, you might have fucked me up. And I'm feeling what you just did, bro. But guess what? It's my turn. Oh yeah. The fight's not over. Fight is not over, bro. And all that fear that's starting and panic that's starting to set in on your eyes, you're starting to go backwards because you're feeling that you're getting tired and your strengths what you're probably going to do is throw one big punch, one more big punch, usually in my experience in those situations. And I'm coming forward and all I'm waiting for is you throw that one punch and that's the last little bit of your energy, bro. You are done, son. Let me tell you something. I live in that area where that you're tired and fatigued. That's where I used to train. I would get myself and my blood real high and I would hit the bag hard. Bah, 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 bah. And for a little while, do a couple rounds. I've been working out by this point and I've gotten my body tired. And then I go in and I spar. I spar like that, a little fatigued and everything. And all he has to do is push the pace on me for the first 10 seconds. And all of a sudden, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. I want to be tired and I still want to be able to think. I don't want to panic. That's where we used to train. We wouldn't train there all the time, but leading into fights, we would. So that if we're ever in a in 3 rounds, bro, you're usually in gunfights, in 3 rounds. There's no feeling out process in the amateurs. Only in sparring. We was getting like 6, 7, 8 rounds, shit like that, right? But in the amateur fights, it was only 3-round fights. So that's what you know what I'm saying? So it was high intensity. So if I can bring your heart rate up like this and be pushing it at you and you feeling my punches, pop, pop, boom, boom, right? That's where I live. I've embraced that area. I don't fear it. I work around it. When I'm losing in that moment, bam, 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 and I'm fucking getting my ass handed to me, right? I'm tired. I'm fatigued. My hands want to drop. He just hit me with a vicious body shot. And he heard it. All my air came out of me, bro. I stepped back. I'm going backwards. I'm going backwards at this point. I'm hurt, but I'm not letting him see it, but he knows it. Fuck you, Flacco, that day in sparring. Oh, you got me, Flacco. Yeah, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Yo, he hit me with a body shot, man. I was going back. I was like, damn, right? Then what I did in early, foolishly, I try to fight fire with fire. I try because I was hurt. I was going back. I try to hit him hard, right? Now I wouldn't do that, right? But that's what I did in the moment, bro. He dropped me. I went, and he hit me right in the solar plex. He dipped to the side and he went, boom. And he knew I was hurt to the body. He hit me with another body shot, right? And he took all the air out of me. I just dropped, boom. I was like, damn. And then like my brother-in-law's looking at me. And you know who you are, Craig. He was looking at me on the side. And, I talk about real shit. I'm not. It is what it is. So, and then I get up. I'm like, fuck. And we finished the sparring round. We did 2, 3 more rounds after that. And I felt he took it easy on me, on my body, because he knew I was hurt. Plus, I heard the coach say, take it easy on him. Clear indication to take it easy on me, right? I was like, damn. But I learned from that. I learned from that. I learned from my positioning, what I did wrong. I learned from don't slack on your training. Just because I was nice up here, I wasn't working my body, my stomach as I should. And things like that, man. And I learned with my experiences and shit. But yeah, man, it fires up the memories, and I know what it's like. I know what it's like. And don't ever, ever in your life play around with boxing. Don't ever be at one of them clubs. You're in your jeans or something. There's a fight man tournament going on, and your friends and family. Yeah, get in there, buddy. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't play with boxing. You can seriously get hurt. And I wouldn't play with boxing. That's why I wouldn't give him some dude was like, oh, microphone warrior. I know what I could do with these, baby. I don't gotta get on. Oh, I'll fuck you up. Hey, get this shit. Bro, how we do? Yeah. It's all good. Cross that line if you want to. We find out. That's it, right? You should be like that. Don't let people gas you up and get you in these back and forths. Shit like that. Don't do that. But, training, man, I'm going to get into it. Let's talk about these fights. Yo, check it out, right? The post-fight conference kicks off for Ryan and Dan. Bill Haney's in the crowd. Let me get up with y'all message. Let me see what y'all guys is talking about, what you guys want to talk about. Oh, I just got a email about Subriya Matias. I have to open up that email and check that out. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? What's up, Jeremiah? Yeah, frontline. That's the first thing I said, frontline. You got to stop smoking. Hell yeah. I would have to take it serious, like serious. And yo, frontline, I'm telling you, I'm a psycho with this boxing shit. So much so that he hinted to the possibility of me boxing. What was that? Yesterday, right? Yesterday? I already went out and got the medication from my doctor to quit smoking. They gave me the smoking pills. So I take the pills to stop. I'm a start like my wife's like, what are you doing? Like I'm like, I'm about to stop smoking. Like, yo. And she knows, like, she's like, if you and like she's doing the math, like, stop smoking means training means wait a minute, you know what I mean? So I'm a psycho. I'm trying to tell you guys, like, did you just say you'll give me what? Make it like a stage and give me an audience? Shit. Man, she doesn't understand, man. Some of us made bad choices, bad mistakes, and some of our careers were cut short. And there was just nothing you could do about it. And I never got, I always considered myself that person, like, wasted talent. I was pretty nice, kid. I was pretty nice. I hold my own. I'm not the best fighter in the world. But although I could have been, you never know. Huh? Let's just take it. You guys are talking to the undisputed champion in 7 weight divisions, Edwin. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna lie, fucking lie big. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I said it. 7 weight divisions, undisputed, baby. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna go big, go big. Fuck it. Right, guys? What's up, Jeremiah? Let me get to y'all messages. So, yeah, please, guys, please do me a favor and smash that like button for me. Yep, and Naoya Inoue is entering his 13th straight fight with 2 or more belts on the line. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. All right. Definitely the same smoke. Well, yeah, bro. Carlos, I gotta stop that shit. That's great for quitting smoking. Yes. Um, these are you take it, it's 1 tablet per mouth twice a day. And it like doesn't take away, like like she told me, she's like, look, you're gonna get a weird feeling in your mind that you're missing, you're doing something, you're supposed to be doing something, like the oral fixation part. And she said, it's not gonna take that away from you, but it's gonna make you forget about cigarettes, right? The weird thing, I've already did this. That's why it's in her file. I tried to do this like months ago. So all I had to do was go over there and tell her and go to my pharmacy and pick it up. That's it. So my primary care doctor is like literally down the street from me. You know, I walk there all the time. I do my physicals every 6 months. So I did it. I start taking them, right? Boom. Weirdly enough, I didn't want to smoke cigarettes, but I knew I had, like, there was something missing. Yo, she was fucking right, bro. And then when you smoke a cigarette or weed or, you know, uh, whatever you're into, hookah or whatever kind of smoke, she said, it's gonna go down like an empty stomach and give you that smoker's empty stomach feeling. And it's gonna deter you from wanting to smoke because it's making the cigarettes taste nasty. And it did exactly that. The problem is that I I I just got bored and I was like, this shit is working too good. And I stopped taking the pill and started smoking again. I got too much time on my hand. Every time I do a story or something, I had to leave back. So I know where I failed in that part. So I went back and he started talking about fighting. I was like, I know what'll work. If I stay dedicated and disciplined to that, and it's not that hard, I was like, I could stop smoking with that shit because I knew I could. I just chose. I was like, ain't got nothing to do. You know, I was like, why stop now? Like, but when you got something to look forward to that motivates you like that, yeah, I'll stop. Cause I know that I'm not going in there playing around. I'm not going in there to lose. Fuck that. I'm going in there to knock somebody out. I'm getting mine out. That would be my Super Bowl. That would be my World Series. It might be on some stupid amateur level with small to anybody, but I knocked that dude out on Border War, throw Ness's belt on my shoulder. That's a done deal, son. That is the greatest belt in boxing history. Floyd, if I ever meet him, I'll give him an autograph. I'll be like, "Here, kid, let me sign your shirt." You know who I am. I'll lose my mind, bro. Stop it. I'll be like, yeah, Floyd, you ain't got one of these. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'll lose my mind, but nah, I just like boxing, man. I love fighting and shit. And I miss it sometimes. Sometimes I don't miss it so much. But yeah, absolutely. So yeah, look, um, Naoya Inoue is really doing some special shit here, right? And I was going to get into the Ryan, but let's get into Naoya Inoue. We'll talk about Ryan in a minute. Yo, check this out, guys, right? There's this still, little fucking stupid thing going around about Naoya Inoue avoiding so forth, this guy, that guy, and whatever, right? Okay. So, you know how we do in Round One Sports Talk. We don't play that shit. We're gonna have to definitely go and pull up facts. That's all we do, baby. Right? So why isn't it popping up right now? I don't know. Let's see here. It's there it is. Okay, here we go. What? Oh, wrong page. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. All right, listen. This is a quick summary and breakdown, right, about what's being said with MJ Marlon Tapales. Marlon Tapales is the one that's being campaigned by the one and only Ed Hearn, right? And Matchroom, and there's advertising this guy right here of being the guy that I mean is avoiding, right? Or Naoya Inoue is avoiding this guy right here, Marlon Tapales. I struggle for words trying to explain the fear level that I guess they're trying to convince you that this guy opposes to such a decorated fighter like Naoya Inoue, right? Let's check him out, right? My man is 13-10 with 1 loss, right? He only has 92 boxing pro round experience with a 76% knockout ratio, and he is remarkably 30 years old. His nickname is MJ. So if you hear me say MJ for Akmadalia, that is his alias, right? Okay. Remember the record, guys. 13-10. 13-10. Okay. Here's where a lot of the confusion lies right here. And you see, you got to ask yourself, who the hell has Marlon Tapales? I mean, MJ fought. You see right here, he fought Marlon Tapales and he lost his belt. But before that, these are the gentlemen, and this is the run that made MJ the man he is. So he fought Daniel Roman. He came into the fight 27-2, and he fought him for the IBF Super Bantamweight title of the world, right there at 122 pounds. Okay, this is where the legend of MJ starts. And when you ask yourself about competition, who has, for instance, how good is Daniel Roman? Now, Daniel Roman himself has fought some interesting fighters. Here he is. His current record up to date is 29-4 with 10 knockouts. Now, his last fight that he fought, was in 2022, June 4th. So he hasn't been in the ring for quite some times. I think he might be retired. But he has worthy opponents and common opponents with Naoya Inoue, such as fighters as, let's see here. Let's go down the list. Let's see who's on this list. Let's get down here. Got some pretty. TJ Doheny. You guys remember that name, right? TJ Doheny is the man that fought Naoya Inoue, Naoya the Monster Inoue. In fact, he fought Roman here, right? And coming into their fight, as you notice right here, TJ Doheny was undefeated. He was 21-0. He beat him in a 12-round majority decision and gave TJ Doheny his first loss. He fought Akmadalia and lost in a split decision. He also fought Juan Carlos Payano. You know who Juan Carlos Payano is, right? Juan Carlos Payano is the guy that Naoya Inoue knocked out in the first series in the first round of the World Series of Boxing. Ricardo Espinosa, Stephen Kubo Fulton was his last fight. So this guy right here has some good names on his resume. Stephen Kubo Fulton is a 2-division world champion. Pillow fisted aside, still. Right? And he fought Stephen Kubo Fulton when he was 20-0. As you can see it right there. Right? He has a lot of common opponents also with the monster Naoya Inoue. Right? And you could see, I wanted to point that out too. You see his last fight, right? 2022, June 4th. See? So he hasn't fought in quite some times. So back to this MJ guy. this ferocious individual, right? So he fights that guy. Nope, not the right one. His best fighter that he ever fought against was Marlon Tapales, MJ. The best fighter he's ever fought on his resume is Marlon Tapales. That's the best fighter he's ever fought. And although what's his name there? Roman, right? Although Roman fought some interesting fighters, right? Uh uh Ronnie Rios, nah, he doesn't do it for me neither. I saw his name just now too. Nope. Ronnie Rios lost to everybody. Ronnie Rios, any fighter that had a significant name or was somebody he lost to. Look, he got 5 not losses and he got stopped 4 times. He has a pretty good record with 34-17. So his record is high, but he never beat anybody of significance. Ronnie Rios, he was just a gatekeeper. Like, he was just there. Like, okay, like look, for instance, okay, he loses to him the first time, 5th round, right? Robinson. Okay, he loses to Robinson in the 5th. I'm looking at other names too as I'm going down. Okay, look at Ray Vargas. I remember this. Okay, and he lost in a unanimous decision to him 12 rounds, right? Then he loses. Look, 6th round knockout. Look. He never beats anybody like. And look, and then he loses to MJ. Then he loses to Nick Ball. That's what I remember about him. Ronnie Rios. He didn't beat like the. He fought these guys. Okay, I can give him credit for fighting some of these guys. He just never won it. So how good of a fighter is he? When you lose all your big fights. So I'm, at measuring them on a measuring stick. You know what I mean? And then this guy, his last fight, this is MJ Amadalia we're talking about, right? And he fights Ricardo Espinoza, which was his last fight. So Ricardo Espinoza is ranked 86 in the world. Says it right there. He's 30-25 losses. He's been stopped twice. He's 27 years old. He has 143 boxing rounds. In comparison to MJ, right? Remember MJ? What do you have? What was that number of boxing rounds? And that's the guy they're trying to feed to you to say Naoya Inoue is ducking him, and what's fair is fair. That if Naoya Inoue is not fighting MJ, they should strip that belt away from him. Under what grounds should they strip that belt away from him if the last fighter you fought was ranked 86 in the world? You didn't fight anybody in the top 20. You didn't fight anybody in the top 10, top 5. This is your last opponent. Look, guys, you can't make this up. Look at the losing. Matter of fact, look at. You see these red dots. You guys know what this is, right? That means that this guy that he came in to fight was coming off a 6-fight consecutive losing streak. Whenever you see the green dot in between, that signifies a win. But before that, the red dots all signified losses. So look how strong his competition is. This guy. Oh, he got an undefeated guy there. Did he win that fight? Yeah, he did. Loses this one. Then he goes back to losers. And that's it. You mean to tell that guy with this record is the reason why the WBA is saying, because of this guy, that MJ beat him, and that made him, Naoya Inoue's, mandatory to the WBA. This guy right here. That's their claim. Look, I'm not this is why I bring all this up. So that you could see it, just the facts. That's his last fight. And remember, guys, right? How do you go from losing your belt to Marlon Tapales, right? Losing your belt, right? In 2023, 4-8, right? He gets back in the ring 2023, 12-16, December 16, right? And he fights against this guy, Kevin Gonzalez, right? What was he ranked? Here he is, Kevin Gonzalez. He is ranked number 53 in the world. I clicked on that, didn't I? Yes, I did. Number 53. And out of all Mexicans in the division, he's ranked 13 among 272 registered Mexican fighters in this weight division that holds 1,402 fighters. That's how that works. See? So how do you fight a guy number 53 and the last guy you fought was ranked, 86? I think at the time he was ranked actually 88. He actually went up in ranking. So when we looked him up, he had made it to 86, which was this guy. So he's 56 and he's 86. Brother, you have no more fights. Where did your number one come? Don't you know from losing his belt, he went into this fight and they awarded him the interim championship? What they call the regular for the WBA. Then he goes on, I guess, to defend it. And that automatically made this man the number one contender to Naoya Inoue. I can't make this up. How is you know what Naoya Inoue is doing? He's avoiding him. He's the kid down there in the school, or talking to the champion, wanting a free ride to the top from this guy's all his hard work. That's a real champion right there. 29 and 26 knockouts. That is spectacular, right? It's not the greatest thing in the world, but very nice, right? Okay. So, Naoya Inoue, and out of Japan fighters, there are 144 registered Japan fighters in the division. He is number one. Out of 1,402 fighters, he is number one in the world. He is number one across the board. See? Okay. He is 32 years old. He's 5'5". He has a 67-inch arm reach. He has 173 rounds experience. He's been 29 bouts, and he has an 89% knockout ratio. He started his career in 2012. Very accomplished fighter here, as you can see. But the WBA is not recognized on BoxRec. But Naoya Inoue, I was going down throughout his impressive resume. And when you go down and you're more familiar with a lot of the fighters that he fought and came up against, you start to quickly realize that he was a very special talent. Very early on in his professional career, Ryoguchi right here, was one of Japan's rising Japanese stars. In fact, many people felt like he was going to be the next Japan superstar and world champion and elevate Japanese boxing. That man right there, in fact. Naoya Inoue fought him to a grueling 10-round decision where he was victorious, and Naoya Inoue was awarded the unanimous decision, as you can see right there on the board, right? And you think about the type of champions that Naoya Inoue fought, fighters like right here, Hernandez, very decorated fighter. Let's take a look at him. Look at You know what I'm saying? Adrian Hernandez right here. He has a current record of 30-19, 5-4. I think he only had like 2 or 3 losses when he came into Naoya Inoue fight. But this man is a decorated fighter, Mexican fighter. 63% knockout ratio, 204 rounds professional experience, more than Naoya Inoue currently today. Never mind when they came in to face each other. Okay. So when they came to face each other, as we could see it right here, Adrian Hernandez right there on BoxRec, they fought at the 108 division. He was 29-2 at the time. Naoya Inoue stopped him in 6. And remember that when Naoya Inoue came in to fight him, what was his record against? What was Naoya Inoue coming into the fight? I meant to look at that. Here it is right here. He was 5-0. Naoya Inoue came into that fight 5-0 against a guy that was what, 29-2, world champion. Naoya Inoue stopped him in 6 to obtain his first world title with 5-0. Are you kidding me? Then, he defends the belt. The next champion that he ends up fighting, which was an impressive moment in the young man's career, Naoya Inoue. Look what he did. This is pretty impressive. Mind you, he fought Adrian Hernandez at 108, defends the belt at 108. From 108, he jumps and bypasses the 112 and enters the 115-pound weight division. See, from his last fight, 108, well, it says 107, but that's the 108 division, to the 115 in his very next fight. And who did he fight? He fights this guy, Omar Narvaez, 43-1. 43-1, really? He ended up his career, the rest of his career, 49-25, 4 losses, and he only been knocked out 1 time. You've been only knocked out 1 time. Who is the man that knocked a man like this out? Oh, Naoya Inoue. Listen, Naoya Inoue came into their fight. Let's see, what did he come? Gotta be one of these red bars. It's real easy to find. There he is. Naoya Inoue came into their fight 7-0. 7-0. Salute, brother Frequency. How you doing in the building? 7-0. This is the reality to what he did. It's not like Naoya. You're fighting world champions, jumping a division, bypassing 1, and immediately challenging the champion, right? With only 7 professional fights. This guy's record was intimidating by itself. 43-1. The only person he lost to was Nonito Donaire, another Hall of Fame fighter, soon to be Hall of Fame fighter. And Nonito the Flash Donaire, Filipino Super, the Flash. That's the only person he lost to. And he went 12 rounds with him. So this 5'5" Japanese skinny dude from 108 pounds is bypassing 112, coming into 115 with only 7 professional fights, challenging me, Omar Narvaez, with 43 professional fights, bro. I am an established champion. And by the way, at this point in my career, I have never, ever been knocked out. Naoya Inoue stopped him in 2 rounds. It took him 2 rounds to knock that man out and walk off with his belt. Before Omar realized what was going on, Naoya Inoue was celebrating. They had him on his shoulders. He had no idea what hit him. Like, when they talk about this guy being a hype job, how? He got it out the mud. He went with only 7 like fighting the man after the man after. Yo, how is he a hype job? Who's doing it better than this guy in comparison, right? So I'm like, that's 2 divisions, 7 fights, guys. He went into it with 7. After the fight, that's his 8th. So by his 8th professional fight, 2 divisions, guys. Right? And you think about the guys, he comes up, he defends that belt. I think he defended that belt 7 times, right? What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh. He defends it 8 times. Ooh, 9. Jesus. 9 times. And sometimes when I go back to his record, I forget some of the shit he does. And it just like, it really impresses me. Right? So he does that. Then his next weight jump, he fights the European world champion in Jamie McDonald, as you can see right here. He came into that fight with a record of 29-2. So Jamie McDonald, here he is, 5'9.5", basically 5'10". It's basically a 6-footer. Okay? Jamie McDonald was 11 feet tall. Okay? Right? Listen, he was tall as hell. He had a 43% knockout ratio. Jesus Christ. 252 rounds professional experience. That's an experienced fighter, gentlemen. That is an experienced fighter. He has a 71.5-inch arm reach. Naoya Inoue has a 67. He has all the height, all the attributes, the length, the reach, everything. And coming into their fight, right? Coming into their fight, Naoya Inoue was 15-0. He was moving up to his 3rd weight division. And this guy has never been knocked out. Naoya Inoue moved up to a new weight division, challenged him for his world title. And what was the result? 1 round. That man didn't last 1 round with Naoya Inoue. He didn't make it out the 1 round. He didn't last one round. He lasted a portion of the round. With all that height, attributes, all the reach on Naoya Inoue. Remember, look at his reach. Look at everything. Look. Check it out. Look. Everything, experience, everything was on this man's side. None of that shit mattered, bro. None of it. None of that shit mattered. Look at this. Look. See? 67-inch arm reach. 5'5". Currently, today, 173 rounds boxing experience. So when he actually came into fight Jamie McDonald, like, what was the gap in professional experience in rounds? What was the gap level? It was ridiculous. Odds makers was like, yo, this Japanese dude is going to sleep. Really? This is the guy that's going to sleep. Yo, he rocked the 1 round. 1 round, man. But they want to quickly write this dude off like he ain't doing shit. Like he ain't been doing this kind of shit. Bro, it gets crazy, bro. You guys remember this guy? We talked about him. Juan Carlos Payano. Remember? He fought Roman there, that fought MJ. They're all together. These guys are all this proves this. That if these guys and what Naoya Inoue is doing was so easy, and that there's no competition down there, and these guys are not as good. All these guys are around during the same time. They're just knocking each other off because it's so hard to do what he's doing. In fact, in super bantamweight history, we have never had a unified world champion in that division. There has never been a man that held reign supreme in the history of that division. Naoya Inoue is the first man to do that, and he's the first Japanese man to become an undisputed world champion. Japan has never had an undisputed world champion, and that's what I want to see for my country, Puerto Rico. I want to be alive to witness the first Puerto Rican unified world champion. And that's what, I'm hoping one day. Shit, I'm coming out of retirement. I'm about to do it for us. Fuck that, bro. That's what it is. I'm stopping smoking tomorrow. That's it. It's over with. You know what I mean? I'm going to go get us the gold. I'll be right back. Hold my beer. You know what I mean? Yo, listen. So, look at Emmanuel Rodriguez is a world champion. By the way, Juan Carlos Payano was a world champion too. McDonald was a world champion. These are all world champions Naoya Inoue faced. All right. You guys were counting them, right? Like, world champion fights. These are all them title defenses and shit. But he was a world champion. He's a world champion. So, like, where were we? We were right here. We were right here, right? And then Nonito Donaire, not only a world champion, but a Hall of Famer. And these guys' careers are not all said and done, so I don't know if someone else can squeeze out a Hall of Fame career. JC Malone, he's also a world champion. Des Martinez fought him on that night for Naoya Inoue's IBF and WBA. The WBA was on the line this night with Des Martinez. Did Des Martinez ever become a world champion too again? Look at Des Martinez. He's a monster. This is a dog right here. This man got a fucking warrior's heart. He's too tough for himself, bro. That dude is tough, man. That beating that Naoya Inoue put on him, I'm going to tell you right now, most men would have conceded. They would have gave up, bro. They wouldn't got up from them body shots. I don't believe it. Those are special kind of dudes, bro. Yeah, he lost against Naoya Inoue came into that fight 20-0 at that night. I believe they fought in Las Vegas. Yes, they did. Las Vegas right here. They fought in Las Vegas but during that corona epidemic time, little crowd type shit, and it's just a real nasty time for a lot of boxers, but we got over it. But my question was WBC Asian Pacific, that's not a world title. Unless he got a WBA somewhere that I didn't, because the WBAs won't show up here. Unless he got a WBA, I don't think he became one. I don't think he became a world champion. I'm not sure. But Donito Donaire, Paul Butler was a world champion. Stephen Kubo Fulton was a world champion. Marlon Tapales was a world champion. Luis Pantera Nari was a world champion. D.T. Doheny was a world champion. Nope, sorry, Young Kim, you were not a world champion. And then Roman Cardines is not a world champion. So, yeah, look at he fights nothing but world champions too. So his competition is really, really good. I mean, when he beat Nonito Donaire in the first fight, right? Donaire was so good, in fact, that he went back, got and secure a world title, defended it, and then fought Naoya Inoue for a second time. And I remind the public that when they say that Donito Donaire was old and that he was washed when he fought Naoya Inoue, just ask yourself this one question. If you eliminate Naoya Inoue out of that World Series of Boxing tournament, who wins the tournament? Nonito Donaire walks away with that trophy. That's how good he was. So don't believe all this hype that they saying he was old, he was washed. That was a classical performance by both men. They both went in there, really showed the highest boxing skill at the highest level, and both men left it on the line. The second time, Nonito Donaire, he didn't want to play around with Naoya Inoue, and he went in closer, took more risks, bigger chances, and he was on the short end of the stick. That's all. He was, so Naoya Inoue had the bigger stick. That's it. And he beat him. So now we're all the way here. and the Roman Cardine fight, but let's just go up back to memory lane so that the viewers see where that these guys are coming at Naoya Inoue and they're really making shit up, right? Okay, because let's just keep track of his career. Well, we all know this as fans, or if you've been following Naoya Inoue. If you haven't, thank you for joining us. We all know as Naoya Inoue hardcore fans here that he won 8 belts within 1 year. You know, after beating Paul Butler here 2022 12-13 by securing the last belt he needed to unify all 4. That's where the clock starts ticking. Check mate right here with Marlon Tapales 2023 12-26. That is 1 year and 13 days. He won 4, 2, and 2. That's 8 belts within 1 year. Facts don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie. Numbers don't lie. That's 8 belts right there, ladies and gentlemen. So he goes on and like my man alluded to right here, Jeremiah, so eloquently in the chat that he's coming on. What was that? Is 12 consecutive? I forgot how much you said. I would have to go up in the chat and look at your messages, but it's like 12 consecutive fights with 2 belts or more, right? So he goes and defends all 4 belts against Luis Pantera Nari, which came into that fight 35-1. He was the number 1 for the WBC, but he took that as a voluntary fight. Naoya Inoue, he chose to fight Luis Pantera Nari. He did not actually have to fight him, but he took him as a voluntary mandatory, and he was the number 1. Very worthy. They approved the fight. Then right here is where things really get, and Naoya Inoue, I think the boxing world and the boxers really, they couldn't run from it. At this point in Naoya Inoue's career, all these people he annihilated confirmed it with names like Marlon Tapales, Stephen Fulton Jr., Paul Butler, Nonito Donaire, being some of the names that he on his way to this point in his career, right about here. When we got right here in his career, that's when the world was like, we're not fighting him. He's too good. And then because why I say that? Because this is where Sam Goodman enters to the equation. Sam Goodman did so much damage to Naoya Inoue's career at this point, right? He gets into the ring, challenges Naoya Inoue, and tells him, I'm your number 1 mandatory in 2 of the sanctioning bodies, the IBF and the WBO. You need to fight me. In this point in time, right? Naoya Inoue agrees. Then he turns around and says, well, I need a tune-up fight. He goes fight a guy and breaks, allegedly, both hands in the fight. I heard it was one day, and then the next day I heard it was both. Whatever it was. So Naoya Inoue had to look for an opponent because Sam Goodman decided to take a fight that he really didn't need to take. It accomplished nothing, right? So here comes TJ Doheny into Naoya Inoue sweepstakes. He should have never been here, but he was the one, the noble man, the man that stepped up to save the night, the man that said, no, I'll fight you. But you had to be somebody. You couldn't be just a nobody. You had to be somebody. So TJ Doheny coming into this fight, he had a number 2 ranking from the WBA. So according to the WBA, he had a number 2 ranking, which was good enough to sell to the fans that because they couldn't get anybody to fight him because Sam Goodman pulled this stunt. Enters TJ Doheny. He gets stopped in the 7th round. The Irishman gave it a valiant effort. Shouts out to TJ Doheny. You did good, kid. Right? Then Sam Goodman comes back into the picture. He jumps back in. He's like, surprise, I'm back. Right? I should pull up Sam Goodman's record. I want to type it in here so bad, but I'm flowing right here, and I don't even think he's worthy for me to type his name in, right? Because he did so much shit. You got to understand, TJ Doheny should have never been there. Then all of a sudden, here comes Sam Goodman right about here once again. And he says, Naoya Inoue, I want my shot, right? And at this point, he 10 days out from the fight, he decides to spar with Mike Tyson, apparently. And he suffered a cut. They gave him 30 days extension, and he suffers a second cut, in which at this time they hold him off to the witness protection program because enough was enough. The world knew you didn't want to fight Naoya Inoue. So the boxing gods scramble and they get this guy, Yi Young Kim. He should have never been here. He should have never fought Naoya Inoue. On 10 days' notice, he steps in to save the fight, the night, and Naoya Inoue brutally knocked him out in 4 rounds. I can't blame Naoya Inoue for that one because, in fact, Naoya Inoue, he was taunting Naoya Inoue and asking for it. Careful what you ask for because you just might get it. And boy, did he get brutally knocked out. Once again, here we go. And during all this time that TJ Doheny entered the fight, that Yi Young Kim entered the fight, you notice that I never mentioned the mysterious name MJ. Where are you? Where are you in our time of need, MJ? Where are you when the opportunity that you say was eluding you and this man was ducking you? Where were you to save us, MJ? Weren't you supposed to be our savior? Weren't you supposed to be the monster's nightmare? Where were you? You didn't come in the fight here, and you sure didn't come in here. So I said to myself, well, on 10 days' notice, come on, guys, let's give MJ the benefit of the doubt. Even though during that 10 days, he came off a fight, he was in a training camp in which he stopped the dude impressively and received no damage in the fight, that he's coming off a training camp. It would have been nothing for him to come in and fill these slots. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, people. Let's not count out MJ. Remember what the WBA said. He is a worthy opponent. Okay? All right. So, what happened here? Where are you now? There's enough time in between these garbage fights, MJ. Then all of a sudden, they want to bring the monster to America. Mexican Independent Weekend. They are looking for a Mexican opponent that Naoya Inoue can face. So what did they do? They go out and get the top Mexican #1 WBC ranked opponent, which was Alan David Picasso. He comes in right here in the equation in Naoya Inoue's reign, right? Okay. Where's MJ? Where's MJ? Where's he at? MJ, yo, you could, oh, just put some Mexican shorts on him. You might be able to get away with that. Right? Right? Yo, listen, it's still a bigger fight. And I'm sure that if they couldn't get MJ, their second avenue would to be get a Mexican fighter. Because apparently Naoya Inoue's ducking MJ. So I know that would have been a great fight in Las Vegas. Instead, what does MJ, his management, and Ed Hearn and his publicists say? No, we got a fight signed with Naoya Inoue in September. What you mean in September? So if you're already set to fight the man, why can't you fight him in Las Vegas rather than have to fight him in Japan? Why would you want to go to Japan and fight Naoya Inoue there? You think you're going to get wins in Japan? You're better off fighting in Las Vegas, MJ. But no, here comes freaking Roman Cardine. What a warrior. What a fucking warrior. Roman Cardine, you're the fucking man, bro. You're the man. All these dudes, Alan David Picasso, scared as hell, Sam Goodman, MJ, you shook. They don't want to fight him. Can't you see the TJ Doheny's, the Yi Young Kims, that look at the games they play now. They don't want this. Man, listen. My man stepped up. Listen, Roman Cardine, bro, 135 rounds experience, 29 years old, 5'6", as American fighters in that division, 1,402. There are 112 American registered, so he's Mexican American. Okay. He doesn't have the greatest names on his record, but he has good fights. He's coming off a massive winning streak. I think it's 14 fights from his loss. So it shows that he has grown as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? And I got to admit, what's up, guys? Let me catch up to you guys real quick here. Let me read off some of you guys' chats. Jeremiah says, most Naoya Inoue opponents, let me bring you up here on the screen. Most Inoue opponents have either been current or former world champions or won or defended a regular championship. Yes, sir. He says Sam Goodman, David Picasso, and Roman Cardenas were all decorated champ before getting called for Naoya. But you see, you kind of messed it up because Roman Cardine wasn't a champion or anything. But I understand what you're saying. I get it. Okay, I'm sorry. I read that like, okay, and Goodman and piano ducking hard through. Yeah. Listen, this has just been like a you know what I mean? Oh, that's crazy, Naoya Inoue ducked somebody at 112. I wonder who that was. Yeah, his name is called Nobody. No one, right? They came out with that false narrative that Naoya Inoue bypassed the entire 112-pound weight division and that Chocolatito and fighters like that were all down there, right? And that's furthest from the truth, because if you were following Naoya Inoue like I was at that time, I knew that Chocolatito was making the young man jump through hoops at the time. Chocolatito said at the time, Naoya Inoue only had 7 professional fights. He said he didn't think that Naoya Inoue had a big enough name. Chocolatito passed on the Naoya Inoue fight 3 times. Remember, Chocolatito had Naoya Inoue fight on his undercard, which in that night he lost. Chocolatito lost to a guy that was fighting 6 and 8 round fights. That was the top of his experience. Remember, what was his name? Rowan's, some shit like that. And he beat him. Chocolatito went and beat him back. But Naoya, there was no one at 112 that wanted to smoke. None of the champions, they all passed on him. They saw what he was doing. And you got to remember that a lot of these fighters on that, the Thailand fighters, the Filipino fighters, the Japan fighters, the China fighters, they're all on that side of the world. They're always constantly flying in and out of those cities on that side. And they fight in tournaments as young men coming up. They spar against each other just like we do over here on our side. We're familiar. So they knew who Naoya Inoue was. They saw when he beat Ryaguchi. I'm trying to tell you that Ryaguchi fight was bigger in a lot of ways that you guys don't understand. He, at that moment, with such a small record, Naoya Inoue became like he was making an argument. He was the best Japanese fighter in the world. And that, yeah. Let me drop that link in the chat. Front line. Anybody want to come up, share your thoughts? I'll break this down because I'm about to cut this live stream in a little bit, and then I'm gonna hop back up on a Boxing Voice 2 with them. I told them I'd hop on again today. Shit, we just talk some boxing and shit, but I always want to give back to my channel, my fans and shit, because we built this shit here at Round One Sports Talk. So I'm always gonna keep this one popping, and I gotta dedicate more time to it. If I'm gonna be pulling that, then I gotta pull my weight with this because it's always great to have more exposure, but at the same time, always boosting this sport that we love. So, guys, let me just answer some more of your questions. Desmarie, he was the WIBO. He got the IBO, did he? Yo, that dude was a tough dude, man. Yeah, real tough dude. Am I talking about someone padding their stats? There's a lot of fighters that do that. One thing about Naoya Inoue, he doesn't pad his stats. That's the best thing I like about him. That if you notice Naoya Inoue's record and everything that I showed you, I could like pull it up. You ever notice that Naoya Inoue has never fought for a regular or an interim world title? It's either a real world title or nothing. He doesn't fight for vacant belts. A lot of these guys, champions, a lot of them fought for vacant belts. From Vasily Lomachenko to Saul Canelo Alvarez to Terrence Crawford, they all fought for vacant belts. They didn't fight champions. Tank Davis, they didn't beat anybody for those. And then I'm not saying that all of them never beat anybody for. No, I didn't. But they have fought for a vacant belt at some point in their career. They have fought worthy champions, those guys, and went on to do impressive stuff. But at one point in their career, they did fight on one night for a vacant world title or a secondary belt. Terrence Crawford has a secondary belt right now. At 154, he has the WBO. Right now. How many franchise belts has Saul Canelo Alvarez had? In interim world titles or regulars and shit like that. Right? Naoya Inoue has fought for nothing but real world titles. That's it. His career, you don't gotta sort through his shit. It's only real. When you go through these fake, real, fake, real, fake, real, that's what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? That's why Naoya Inoue, when they like, I hear you when you say guys got padded records, because a lot of these guys do, man. And it's a good thing that you pointed out because it shows you a real warrior that when you don't have a padded record and Naoya Inoue. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad you said that because, it brings eyes to what a non-padded record should look like. It should look like that. Yeah, So like all these guys, man, yeah, man, padded records, bro. Yeah, the majority of all those world champions have them. Put a guy's name in the chat that you think has a better record than Naoya Inoue right now. Put it in because we'll put it on the screen and we'll share it with the entire everybody that's watching. So all you got to do is just type a name in that little box right there, right now, and I will be more than happy to pull up his record. We'll put them side by side and we'll see who has the padded record. Yeah. Yeah. My man fought 15 world champions and knocked out 11. How many world champions did your guy fight? And how did he fare? How many vacated interim belts, Mickey Mouse, goofy belts does your guy have? Because my guy doesn't own one. He doesn't know what that's like. Mm-hmm. My guy don't duck none of the smoke. My guy went out and fought 4 world champions for the first 4 belts that he obtained. All world champions. He didn't fight a fax machine. He wasn't elevated like most of these fighters. That's the fad these days. Getting an email belt now. Shit. Tank got one. Devin Haney got one. David the Monster Benavidez got one. The list goes on. Getting elevated is the new thing. Dubois got one. But if you go out and fight real world champions and do it the hardest way possible, then you fake. The world is broken. The world is truly broken. What's fake is deemed worthy, and what's real is shit on. The world is broken. It's truly broken. It's incredible. Now Roman Cardin is coming into this fight, man, and I can't wait to see this fight. I think that Naoya Inoue is going to stop him, but I think that Roman Cardin is a live dog, bro. You have to know and understand as a fighter the opportunity that's been presented to him. Roman Cardin, man, is going in there and he's really going to try to give it his all. You know, let alone get a phone call one day for 1 belt, let alone get a phone call for 4 belts. You know, tell me how much motivation will you have? Every fighter that Naoya Inoue fights from here on in, whether he's not a household name or he is, he's gonna they're gonna fight him to the death. He offers too much. What Naoya Inoue offers you is life-changing events in one night. You beat him, you get 4 belts. You basically stamp your name into the Hall of Fame on that one night. Can you say ching ching rematch? The amount of money you stand to make to rematch him, it's going to change your life. What Naoya Inoue offers you is a life-changing moment where you can become a veritably unknown, living in a 1-bedroom apartment with your backpack, walking to the gym, and get a phone call to fight a man like that on a fill-in spot, like Yi Young Kim, like TJ Doheny, like Roman Cardin. A real Rocky type S opportunity. Would you deny it? Would you pass up on an opportunity like that? Well, I know who did. Sam Goodman, MJ, they all passed. Daniel Picasso, they all passed up. They're professional fighters. And you wouldn't pass up on that opportunity to fight Naoya Inoue. And these guys is warriors. They said, hell no. They just smarter. We're dumb. We're crazy. We'll do anything, right? But that's what I mean. The opportunity that he presents and offers to a fighter is life-changing. You have to understand that. And when you have a man that's willing to go that extra, you're dealing with a very dangerous person. In Roman Cardin's mind, there is no tomorrow. He doesn't think that there's only the moment. And I bet he stays up at night, laying there with his head on his pillow, dreaming of what if I can do more than Luis Pantera Nari. Luis Pantera Nari showed the world it's possible. This guy's not like a fucking Terminator, a freak of nature. He's great, but anyone can be beat. And I mean anyone. If you think you're the baddest motherfucker on the planet, just wait a minute. Here he comes. He's going to come around that corner eventually. You're going to meet yourself. Trust me. So, Naoya Inoue can be beat. How far are you willing to go? You get hurt, stunned, dropped, body shot. Are you done? Do you pack it up? Did you bite down on your gum shield? Get up. No, ref. I'm here. I'm good. Hey, I want some more. Bro, that boy's putting it on you. And do you stick around? One of the biggest comeback stories in boxing I saw a witness, and it comes into mind, is Diego Corrales. When he was dropped twice in the fight, I would have threw in the towel if I was his coach, and I would have robbed him from being able to come back. He caught Castillo. Bah! Castillo went back like that. I was like, oh my God. I lost my mind. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And and then people want to argue, they stopped up. No, Castillo's eyes rolled in the back of his head on the rope. He was defenseless for like a tenth of a second. He was out on his feet. He was like that. Yeah, he was out. That was a good stoppage. And you never know, man. Roman could be real hurt. Naoya Inoue. What Naoya Inoue does is like a lot of like real fighters like Tim Bradley, Andre Ward, Mike Tyson, and etc. that really know what they're watching when they're looking at Naoya Inoue, right? And fighters like Tim Bradley has criticized Naoya Inoue for taking so much risk and going in for the kill. He's like, he's good, he's everything, but he's going to get caught one day because he just doesn't know how to do anything less. Like Naoya Inoue sees you do the stanky leg one time, he's going in, and you'll be able to catch him. Tim Bradley said the same thing. I was studying. I was saying, yeah, man, he's going to give you an opportunity, but he's already feel confident that he hurt you enough that you're not going to, that's what he's banking on. Naoya Inoue, you better be careful. There's some people that can be hurt and still got enough to drop your ass. As you can see, you're not fucking invincible. Luis Panteranari put you on your ass. I saw that with my own two eyes. Yeah, you got up and brutalized the man. The world saw what you did to him. You put him on a jumbotron. It's probably gonna come up for like, in a category of knockout of the year and shit. He's gonna put him on a screen where we're gonna vote. That's what you got for that. For knocking Naoya Inoue on, he put you on a bigger screen. Because later we're gonna have to vote on that, and they're just gonna be showing in our highlight reel. Bean, 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 bean. So, yeah. So now, look, when you're given an opportunity like that, like Roman Cardin, you gotta like. I'm pretty sure he's running that extra mile. I'm pretty sure he's, leaving the gym a few hours later. And I think that the young man has really prepared himself. Whether or not he can pull off such a fight, he shouldn't be here in the first place. Honestly, he should not be here. He should not be fighting Naoya Inoue at this point in his career. I'm not sure if he should have ever been fighting Naoya Inoue at any point in his career, but the young man is good. Okay, he could have rised up straight up and gotten to the point. There's a possibility, yes, of Roman Cardin, but not at this moment. The only reason why he's here is because not one, but two of the guys that were supposed to be in front of you, Roman Cardin is the third choice. He's the third choice. You got MJ and you had David Allen Picasso, and then now you got Roman Cardin, third choice. He's the third choice. And then Sam Goodman's dumbass name came up one time, and I'm not even going to count him as the fourth because he should never do business with Naoya Inoue again. He did so much damage, bro, to Naoya Inoue's career. Fucking with that dude, bro. For real. What are you saying here? His only performance loss was a decision defeat to Donaire. Naoya knocked him down 4 times within 2 rounds and won by TKO. Yes, I'm very familiar with um, Naoya Inoue and Nonito Donaire's two epic battles. In fact, Naoya Inoue did knock him out in the first one. You guys know that if you've been following me for quite some time, because the referee jumped in and halted Naoya Inoue. Nonito Donaire ran around the ring like this all the way to the corner. He got like 15 seconds to recuperate from that body shot. He should have been knocked out in that first fight. But the second fight, that shit solidified everything, bro. If there was 10 more seconds in that first round, he don't make it out that first round. I wish he would have never made it out the first round, Nonito Donaire. I would have liked it the fight to end there for the damage that he took at the closing seconds of that second round, before he finished them. He took a lot of big punches from Naoya Inoue, and I wish it would have, if had I known that there was no way that he was going to win at that point, I would have wanted to stop it. I would have saved him from taking those punches from Naoya Inoue because they were flush. Those he's going to pay for those punches. I would have saved them from that. But I didn't, he's gonna go out on his shield, bro. He's gonna go out on his shield. You know what I'm saying? That's fucking Nonito Donaire. Fucking warrior, bro. Straight gladiator. Alright? That motherfucker fight a world title fight, get out of the ring, drink a beer, get back in the ring and fight for and defend it. Those type men. Nonito Donaire is a straight warrior. Yeah, he is. So that just goes to show, like, I have a lot of high praises for a fighter like the Flash. I know who he is. I know what he can do. You know what I'm saying? And shit. And it just speaks to, the monster that is Naoya Inoue. I'm going out to Las Vegas. I'm going out there. I wish fight fans that I could have been out there a lot longer, but now I'm dealing with this situation with the plane where you have to have the real ID and that star on the corner of your ID. So I had already booked reservations for a day in and day out, but I extended it for 4 days. I wanted to be in Las Vegas for a few days. I was going to even try to see if I could hook up with Ness out there, go out, check shit out there and shit, and have a great time. I got a deposit actually on my hotel for 4 more days still right now while I'm talking. But the only thing is, I'm not going to be able to get back home because by May 7th, I won't be able to get on a plane. That means I'm going to have to hitchhike across country from California to Massachusetts. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I might have a suntan on one leg because I'm going to be sticking it out like that for the truck drivers. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, yo, that's some bullshit. Like, I checked out what the fuck a bus costs to travel from California back to Massachusetts. First of all, they said that's going to take 4 days. You're going to travel for 4 days on a bus with a bunch of people farting, sleeping, like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, for 4 days. And it's not going to be the same people the entire trip. There's 11 stops in between where you got to switch over. 11 buses. Somewhere, somehow, you're going to miss one of those buses. You're going to end up staying in one city longer. That 4 days is going to turn into like 7 days, bro. Some dumb fucking with me, right? I'll be fall asleep on a bus, wake up. The bus is dark as shit. Nobody's on it. I'm the only person in there. I'm like, the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Oh my God. Like, so, and then the Amtrak, I check Amtrak, right? Amtrak got 4 stops where you switch trains, and it's $707. And it's also 4 days. So I was like, what the fuck? I was like, stay in Las Vegas. Get out there earlier. Try to get more interviews with Naoya Inoue. Squeeze this stuff in to get to the gyms out in LA just to go through this headache to get back. Just because my fucking ID don't got that stupid star on it. So I was like, it fucked everything up for me. Really, it did. I was like, so May. I guess if you guys are not aware, or if you guys are aware of this, if you're planning to fly, May 7th kicks in the new law. You will not be able to fly domestic flights, anything, without that star on your ID. So don't be like me and get that shit fixed. I set an appointment to get it fixed. They want me to pay $75 to have it mailed to me by the 4th here. And there's no guarantee that will happen either. So I'm just not even doing it. I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'm going to go there one day, come back. That's it. Yeah. So fight fans, listen, guys. I'm gonna cut this video right here short. Go get something to eat, and then I'm gonna hop on the Boxing Voice. You guys can see me there. Tune in there. Show me the love and support, and please don't forget to give this video right here a like. It really helps me push out these videos. And like always, fight fans, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys are the best. My name is Edwin. You guys have an amazing day, and I'm out.